This is Salt's YouTube and you're tuned into one of our hot topic conversations and I'm joined by Hattie. We want to talk about initial stages of dating and I'm going to loosely frame this as like, it's not the first date. First date's been and gone. You're sort of asking on regular dates now, but you're not boyfriend and girlfriend. So kind of from second date until the bit where you decide that you're gonna like exclusively, you're gonna lock it in, you're gonna put a label on it. The grey in between.
Yeah. The murky
It can feel
area,
murky, right?
Yeah.
People can find this a bit anxious, right?
Yeah.
What do you think are the main challenges of that like undefined, getting to know you, really don't know you very well kind of stage?
I think there are so many challenges. I think firstly, communication. I mean, that's talked about so much with regards to dating because it's so important. But you don't know each other well enough yet to know what your norms are. So to know, does this person normally take this long to respond? What are their expectations of me? You know, when you're in a relationship or when someone is your boyfriend or your girlfriend, we have an idea in our heads of what that should look like or what we should expect. So, you know, it's normal to message my boyfriend or my girlfriend that much. It's normal to call them regularly, or actually we probably all have different expectations, but it's that murky time when you're like, well, they're not my boyfriend or my girlfriend yet. So like, is this too much?
Yeah.
Is this not enough?
Expectations, communication. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Can feel a little bit pressured sometimes, maybe if you know you like the person and you almost feel this like you want to get it locked in. You can feel a bit like you're sort of waiting for that official label to go on it so that you can relax a bit.
Yeah, there is a tendency to speed through this stage. I think because of the challenges we've spoken about, because there's such high stakes there, we put so much pressure on it, we can feel like, let's just rush through it, define the relationship, and then everything will be fine because we'll know where we stand.
That, I think, is the key phrase, right? I think that within that murkiness, people find it hard to know where they stand. Mm-hmm. And that can be, particularly, you know, dating is something that we put so much into.
Yeah, there can be such high stakes, actually, when there doesn't need to be.
It's people building up, isn't it? Because they think, like, this could be it, this could be my husband, this could be my wife. Oh, I don't want to mess this up. Oh, but I'm not sure how they're feeling. Oh, they're quite hard to read. Oh, they're not communicating like I thought they would. And it can all just feel really tense. And I think particularly that can get exasperated when we're projecting quite far forwards.
I've had it where you then start to think, if all goes well, we could be married by this time next year. And then you do start like planning, and that can happen. If we're really honest with ourselves, that can happen literally in the first couple of dates.
It could
where our brain goes.
Yeah, and that's
if it's going well.
When we're attributing such high stakes to what is actually supposed to be fun, supposed to be relaxed, supposed to be exploratory, can all sort of come crashing down. I think.
And ultimately, if we are putting such high stakes on it, so much pressure, we are setting ourselves up to be more brokenhearted and more sad if and when it doesn't work out. So it's actually, how do we balance that? How do we guard our heart in this murky phase whilst also enjoying it, blessing the other person, getting to know them and keeping it light?
What's the purpose of that murky stage then, right? So you've gone on the first date, you've established, I guess the first date is literally like, do we enjoy each other's company?
Do we want to go on another date?
Could there be? I think that is literally the only question you need to ask. Would I enjoy a second, like to have another hour and a half, 2 hours and a coffee with this person? And if the answer is yes, go for it. But then, so those other murky dates up until the point where you're like, let's do this, let's lock it in. What do you think is the best function for that time? Like, what do we want to achieve in that time?
The purpose of that time is to work out if you want to be in a relationship with them. So it's not when you're actually in a relationship with them.
That's good.
You haven't decided yet that you're exclusive. And again, that can be really confusing. Some people see dating someone as something that is exclusive. Some people don't. But to me, in my head, I was like, the dating period, the murky period, is working out if I want to be in a committed relationship with this person. And so that should be the goal. And also, that helps us not jump steps ahead to marriage. It's not working out if you want to be married to this person. Obviously, that is, as Christians, our end goal, and we should be dating intentionally, and we should have worked out for ourselves why we're dating, what is marriage, why we want marriage, all those kind of things. But it really helps lower the stakes if we're like, okay, I'm not working out date by date if this person is my husband or my wife. I'm working out, do I see myself want to be in a relationship with this person?
Yeah. And I think the way that we do that, the way that we establish that is just by asking good questions, giving it time, not turning up too pressured. And also, if you know that you quite like that person, we can kind of use that time to like exhibit ourselves, not to convince someone that you'd be the right person. It's to foster a genuine connection so that you both say yes based on actually knowing the other person.
Yeah. And I like to view especially the first few dates as building a friendship. So I took a very friendship first approach to these kind of first few dates, as in, could I see myself being best friends with this person? Because ultimately the foundation to a good and healthy marriage is being best friends, enjoying each other's company, being able to
good companionship.
Good companionship. And often we focus too much on the romantic side at that beginning stage, the big spark, the big chemistry. And I think that can definitely come later down the line. Those things are really important. But for me, it was really helpful just to lower the stakes and be like, can I see myself being best friends with this person? Do I just really enjoy spending time with them?
Yeah, I think that's really good. I think somewhere that Christians can go wrong with this stage as well is that they want to build up their understanding of that other person, to build good connection, and then they slam themselves into it and they bring way too much emotional intimacy. Spiritual intimacy. Sometimes they can, share their life's trauma, their pain, every single thing that they've had to process in therapy. And I think that can mean if it doesn't end up being a committed dating relationship, it's incredibly painful because you kind of got someone out there who doesn't really know you, isn't invested in your life, isn't committed to you, but who knows all of these deeply personal things about you.
Yeah, we can go from 0 to 100 emotionally. And I think a lot of the time, I've done this before, a lot of the time it's because we want to force that connection, especially if we really like someone. And it's what we said before about kind of rushing it because you just want to get to that next stage quickly. And you think, oh, if like I tell them loads of these things about me, we can build that really intimate connection that I'm really seeking, that I really want. And often if we're being honest with ourselves, it's maybe because we don't have that level of emotional intimacy in other areas of our lives. So then we use dating as a way to kind of maybe
that's a challenge.
Fulfill that.
Yeah, get a therapist, chat to a mate.
We don't need to use dating as a way
to be able to talk through those things.
Yeah, that is not what dating is for. And if you can sense that you are using dating, maybe, get a therapist, get some really, really close friends you can have those really close, open, vulnerable conversations with. And, ultimately, if you're with someone, if you're going to marry them, you need to have those intimate, vulnerable, emotional conversations. They will come. That is important. But there's a time and a place for that. When you've built trust, you need to trust the other person. You need to trust them with your close, intimate thoughts,
I'll always say that you should be able to laugh together before you cry together.
Exactly.
Right? So this is for the laughing. This is for the fun. This is to get to know each other. And then later down the line, when you know that person's going to continue journeying with you, then share some of the stuff you've got to journey through.
One thing that really helped for me is actually working out what are my emotional boundaries in the same way that we tend to work out our physical boundaries, especially at the early stage of dating. What are my emotional boundaries? Like, what do I feel comfortable telling someone that I barely know? In reality, we barely know them still, this initial stage. What do I feel comfortable and safe telling them and sharing with them? And like, there are things that you do need to talk about at the beginning, with regards to like communication, boundaries, but I don't think that means that you then have to go into your like whole life story of like, I have these boundaries because of everything I've experienced in the past. You can just say, these are my physical boundaries, and then kind of like move the conversation swiftly on.
That's it. And if it's somebody who probes deeper or tries to contradict them, then actually, doesn't sound like they've got great boundaries.
Yeah. Exactly. And that's something to be aware of. And like, approach these conversations with curiosity at the beginning. Like, how do they respond to me saying that these are my physical boundaries? Like, do they probe? Do they respect it? Do they tell me what their boundaries are? Do they have their own boundaries? Like, we're getting onto that's a whole, I guess, other conversation is boundaries. But But yeah, I think know what you feel safe and okay to share.
Yeah. Okay, so if somebody's watching this and they find themselves in the murky period and they feel a bit anxious, what's our best advice for that person? What do you think that they should know?
Take it date by date.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know it's easier said than done, but after each date, ask yourself, do I want to go on another date with them?
Yeah.
Answer that question and end it there.
Yeah.
That is all you need to know right now.
Yeah.
You do not need to know, am I going to be in a relationship with them? Am I going to marry them? Is this the kind of person I can see myself marrying? We've all been there. We have all imagined us walking down the aisle with the person that we've been on like 2 dates with or whatever, especially if you've been crushing on them for a while, and that's a whole separate thing. But yeah, we have all been there, but actually all you need to know in that moment is, do I want to go on one more date with them? Do I want to get to know them a little bit more? Do I want to spend another 2 hours in their company?
So much wisdom there. My goodness, I hope you've taken away a few nuggets that you can incorporate for yourself when you're in those uncertain early stages of dating. Like and subscribe to Salt's YouTube channel. We've got loads more hot topic conversations and general chats about being single, dating, and being in relationships.